Hi there, folks.
Hey, everybody.
I see something's happening here today because Pat is sporting a very unusual shirt for Pat.
Very
Oh
unusual.
my.
I don't own anything like this, but
Wow.
here it is.
But it materialized. And it looks like look at that. And Alice is sporting a beautiful shirt that okay. And Rada is sporting a beautiful shirt. I guess it was a little maybe psychic. I think I got the right flowers.
You did. There you go.
Even though I didn't have the right exact shirt. But however, I suppose we are having some fun today, which is good. I'm so up for fun. I'm Sandy O from Emma's Revolution.
And I'm Pat Humphreys, just slightly uncomfortable in this garb, but okay, it's fine. We'll work it out.
Well, you all are amazing. And for anybody who can get Pat into a Hawaiian shirt, I gotta love them. And I do love them because that is our fabulous tech team who create beautiful, fun events and also help us do these shows which we've been doing since March of 2020. So we want to give a big shout out to our tech team helping us today. That was Marcy running the video. We've got Moria, Rada, Alice, Paula, Toby. Did I get everybody's name? Marcy, I already said. On our tech team, and we love them all. I did say that. Good. So let's give a great big thanks now that I got them all. Yes. Great big thanks for being on our tech team and for getting Pat into that shirt. Can't wait to see what happens with that. Okay. For folks who were with us last week, and we're glad folks are joining on Facebook Live. Hello there.
Hi, folks.
And folks watching after the fact on YouTube. Last week, it was me doing a song that I wrote a long time ago because Pat was out of town. But Pat is now back, and we have got an Emma's Revolution song for you today. It really has nothing to do with Hawaiian t-shirts. And so
no, absolutely nothing, actually. Well, if you're wondering why I would ever get dressed up in something like this, it's because Sandy O is having a birthday this next week. And Sandy loves beaches, and I can't say that I had anything to do with this. I have just been preoccupied with other things, and though we had a very nice dinner last night with San and everybody in the family here, so I have to say, Rada at the last minute said, "This is what we were thinking of for a theme," and I was like, "I have nothing at all that will go with that." And Allison said, "Well, I do." So.
So the theme is beaches. I love that. Thank you all. Beaches are my favorite place in the whole universe, as far as I know of the universe. And even if for the universe I don't know yet, I still think beaches are going to be my favorite. So thank you for celebrating me through beaches. I so appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean,
very sweet of you all.
If we had billions, you might like space. I don't know.
I might. Let's see. So I guess
let's stick to the
Can we do
Earth.
that? Unless the tech team says no. Let me just see. Look at that. Can I pop some of you into the spotlight who have birthday things? Well, is that okay? I see. Sort of. Okay, so Rada has a birthday theme. Oh, and it's beachy. And Rada's on our tech team.
Cute.
And I know that Marcy has got a nice beach hat on. Thank
Nice.
you. And Alice has got something in beautiful. Look at that with beaches and and palm trees on it. Oh my goodness, that's so sweet. So I'll keep going and see if we have any other beachies. Oh my gosh, you all, that is so special. Thank you. Lori says I'm a mermaid, so let's get Lori. Let's get Lori up here. There's Lori as a mermaid. Lori, I love it. Thank you so much. Thank you all so much for celebrating me on my birthday week. I'm thrilled. I appreciate the love, and wow, that's just perfect. Come to Australia, says Paula. We have beautiful beaches. There's one just down the block from my place.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Oh yeah. We want to do that.
Yes, we'd happily do that.
Thank you all. I feel very well celebrated. Thank you, Lori and Alice and Marcy and Rada. I will let you go back into the gallery view. Thank you all so much. How sweet. Really, really sweet. Oh, yeah, that's lovely. I do like the idea of coming to Australia. Paula, thank you.
Yes. It's your winter there, though, right?
Right.
Still. Yeah.
And I like Rada says, we've been planning this for a month, but also last minute, because that's how we work. And Di over from Alaska says, happy birthday week to me. Thank you very much. It's pretty awesome. I'm excited about it. I will be 56, which is kind of really fantastic, and I think it's the right time for us all, especially women, to say our ages and to really say who we are. We've been just finding out time and again how much the patriarchy gets in the way of us being human, and so we want to be as strongly human as we can amidst the patriarchy till we can get rid of it. Arlene says, happy birthday week, fellow Leo. Well, happy birthday week to you, Arlene. Sometime you're in this month, it sounds like your birthday is. That's fantastic.
2 of my sisters had birthdays just last week. My younger sister Tammy and my next older sister Jackie. So happy birthday to them.
Yes, there is lots of Leo power in this room because we have 2 birthdays for our tech team coming up next week. Marcy and Rada, if I'm remembering correctly. Nice.
All right.
And Ellen says, I often say I've earned this gray and proudly state my age.
Nice.
Right on. And
great.
Ellen, I'm so glad you're in the room. Ellen is one of the powerful vets that we know who have stood up against the war machine and spoken up and spoken out and taken action for peace. And that's where this song that we're going to be singing and teaching with you today, that's where this song comes from.
Yeah, we've been sort of delving into the archives a little bit here because we have something coming up that we will be announcing relatively soon. And I was just thinking about this amazing time that we had up in Nelson, British Columbia with Holly Near, and we'll tell you the story about it later. But it reminded me of this song about resistors and the power of the voices of folks who have come back from having served and joined in the anti-war movement with their really potent firsthand experience. So, and this is one of the songs that's in that intro video that we have. It's really audio, that we have playing before each one of these. So it's kind of nice to be able to sing one of those songs that we've heard sort of over and over again prior to these Learn a Song sessions.
And I forgot to remember to mention that there's a link at the top of your post if you're joining us on Facebook and you would like to download the lyrics with chords. There's a link up there, and there's also a link in the comments here in Zoom and on Facebook Live where you can play the chords as I'm playing them, capo 7, or as Pat's playing them in open position.
One more sip of water.
One more sip of water. Yep, looks like there's a ton of August birthdays.
Yeah.
Yeah, lovely. Lovely.
All right. I got in a really quick bike ride right before this, which was lovely. So, all right.
And I play it and you sing it.
All right.
First.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, that's you.
Okay, go ahead.
Fight.
All right. No, on fight. Got it.
I'll wait for you.
Go. Oh. I will not fight. I will not take orders. My life is short. Getting shorter. This is not my land. I don't belong here. This is not my war. This is not my war. When I was young, I would play the hero. A chance for real, next to zero. I grew up poor, and I grew up empty. Recruiters came, tried to tempt me. They promised cars, and they promised money. They showed my future bright and sunny. Though it sounded good, I did not believe them. I had a friend, they deceived him. I will not fight. I will not take orders. My life is short, getting shorter. This is not my land. I don't belong here. This is not my war. This is not my war. My buddy won, joined the army. He was convinced he would help his family. He tried his best to buy the story, but bloody lies betrayed the glory. One wrote to me from a bar in Baghdad. He helped me see the power that I have. There is no war without the warrior, just silent tanks, guns and mortar. I will not fight, I will not take orders. My life is short, getting shorter. This is not my land, I don't belong here. This is not my war, this is not my war. One came home to the dock at Dover. We laid him down in Kentucky clover, with his son and his wife beside me. I read his words, may they always guide me. I will not fight, I will not take orders. My life is short, getting shorter. This is not my land, I don't belong here. This is not my war, this is not my war. I will not fight, I will not take orders. My life is short, getting shorter. This is not my land, I don't belong here. This is not my war, this is not my war. This is not my war, this is not my war.
All right. That is the song.
So my mic is too hot.
Okay.
I will turn
and
it down
I see
a
that
bit.
there are requests for seeing more guitar. So I'm trying to do that with the...
Oh, I had my hat hot, my hand hidden the whole time, didn't I? Sorry about that.
Probably. Powerful song, says Rada, and Ellen says, thank you, sisters. Thank you, Ellen, and thanks to all the Vets for Peace, Iraq Vets Against the War, Vietnam Vets for Peace, which I know that's where that started. But you all have inspired us. You know, we kept, in our travels, kept meeting folks who have come back from wars, and they know firsthand what it really is and what it really does to them and to the folks on, quote, the other side. And some of those vets have come back and written the most powerful poetry to save their own lives. They came back broken, and art was one of the ways that they put themselves back together so that they could speak out against it. And so, yeah, so thank you, Ellen. Let me just see that there's a question. Di says, I can't find the link to the chords. Okay, it should be on the top of the post, but maybe somebody can post it there on Facebook so that Di can download those chords. And Mary Best adds in, thank you, Ellen, for your tireless work for the vets and for peace. Yeah, nice. So, yeah, we'll make sure you can see our hands a little bit more.
Yeah, sorry about that. We're just, you know, newly back in the teeny little corner, so
it's very true.
we have to get the geometry just right, so that we can actually still play and not bonk into one another.
All right.
While we make our fretboards visible.
Am I correct, says Lynn, that there are no chord diagrams this time in my part? Yes, just want to make sure I have the correct documents. That's true. There are no chord diagrams. I am doing a G chord up here, but I'll show you that when we get to guitars. So let's do the chorus. Let's do your vocal part, Pat.
Yeah. So the chorus. I will not fight. I will not take orders. My life is short, getting shorter. This is not my land. I don't belong here. This is not my war. This is not my war. I'll do that a couple times through. I will not fight. I will not take orders. My life is short, getting shorter. This is not my land. I don't belong here. This is not my war. This is not my war. It ends on that C chord, a little bit unusual. Folks getting that pretty much?
Let's see. Let's take a look.
Yeah, I'll have a look. The gallery view.
Is that working for you, Pat's
Yeah.
lead part? Okay, great.
It's a pretty simple chorus, pretty simple melody.
Nice. All right. So let's do my harmony part, even though I'm not in the harmony on that first chorus.
Yeah.
So
I'll sing more quietly
That
in the
would be
background.
great.
How's the tech team? How's the balance now? I turned my mic down a little bit.
Rhoda
good?
gives double
Okay, good.
thumbs up.
Good. Thanks. Yeah, something else we were on. I wasn't loud enough, so. Alrighty. So yeah.
I knew that I needed to think about exactly what note that was, and I thought I'll get it in the moment, and I might.
Is it that?
Not exactly.
Oh, okay.
So let's try it. That first note I might have to catch, so we'll get somewhere there though.
Okay. Ready?
Yep. So actually, let's do it from. Notes sounded good. I did not believe them. I had a friend and they deceived him.
Okay.
I will not fight. That's probably my part. That's
Okay.
not your part.
I will not fight. Yeah. Yeah, you're fine.
Okay, sorry, I'm a little tired on my birthday week. I haven't been working. That's not true. I've been
That's
working.
not true.
I've been working my ass off. That's why I'm tired.
So you want to go from the end of that verse?
Yeah, just so it'll
that's
help
fine.
me.
Though it sounded good, I did not believe them. I had a friend, they deceived him.
I will not fight. So there it is. I will not fight. Okay. Now we can just do it from there.
Okay, 1, 2.
I will not fight. I will not take orders. My life is short, getting shorter. This is not my land. I don't belong here. This is not my war. This is not my war again. I will not fight. I will not take orders. My life is short and getting shorter. This is not my land. I don't belong here. This is not my war. This is not my war. One more time. I will not fight. Or that way. I will not take orders. My life is short and getting shorter. This is not my land. I don't belong here. This is not my war. This is not my war. Right. I will not. So it's either, I think I do it 2 different ways in the song. I will not fight. I will not take orders. My life is short and getting shorter. This is not my land. I don't belong here. This is not my war. This is not my war. One more time now that I said that. I will not, like that. 2, 3. I will not fight. I will not take orders. My life is short and getting shorter. This is not my land. I won't belong here. This is not my war. This is not my war. So let's see if that made sense now that I sorted out the beginning. So it does happen in a song, folks, where you sing it one way the first time you sing it, and then the second time it's a little bit varied, and sometimes that is what gets confused. So Based on what I just sang at the end there, is that making sense? If we start it like that, I will not fight. Good. Okay.
There's a lot of really interesting. It's interesting for me to hear Sandy's part separate from mine because there's a lot of subtle, really subtle motion in that part that that helps define the chord changes, but also just like really enhances the emotion of those lines. If some of the folks from our songwriting group are in the room or are watching on Facebook, it's really interesting to me to hear those subtleties and how powerful they are. It's a beautiful part.
Thank you, Pat.
Sure.
Lots of minors, wrote Mary Best. Actually, it's so interesting. There aren't a whole lot of minor chords. Is that what you mean, Mary? Chords? Or do you
well,
mean...
the chords that I'm
Let me just
playing
see
are minor.
Mary, let's see what Mary
Hi, Mary.
is. Hi, Mary.
It sounded minory.
Right. There are some minor chords, and then what else there are dissonances, and that's part of what you're hearing,
That's
right?
different. Exactly. Yeah.
Fight. There are two minor chords. I will not take orders. My life is short and getting short. Like this one, this is a crunchy chord, which makes us feel like, oh my gosh, there's something super tension happening like minor. So
yeah, it kind of enhances that sense of impending doom. You know, it's a tough story. I sort of forgot. It has always been really hard for me to sing this song without just like tearing up because I just think it's so many people's story in so many places, and it's this isn't a specific one person's story. It's kind of a conglomerate of things that we've just heard over the years, but. I don't know, just the thought of this story is really intense.
Yeah. And I want to thank you, Mary, because actually when I look at it, it's sort of like half and half minor chords and major chords, but with those dissonances. But the overall feel is haunting, as you wrote there.
I mean, that's the idea. Is to
so
make it
you're
really
absolutely
haunting.
right.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say, I remember that march to Dover. That was so powerful. When you say laid him down, I just remember that march from Dover to DC to Dover. It's just powerful. I know Ellen remembers that really well too. Really well.
And if I'm not mistaken, that was because they were not showing on TV during the Bush administration the returning of the dead bodies of service members.
Yeah.
So activists said, if you're going to propagandize us all about the glories of war and our need for war on TV and not show the consequences, we're going to bring attention to that.
Yeah.
And I remember you folks did that procession of coffins. Mm-hmm. You were a part of that, I think, with Gandhi's grandson.
Right.
Yeah, he was part of a lot of events then.
Yeah, when you sang the Korean song.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah, that was one of those processions out to Arlington.
Right? Yeah. And the 1,000 coffins of the guy wherever he was that had those coffins that were laid out on both sides of the Washington Monument.
Right.
Or the Lincoln Memorial, in front of the Lincoln Memorial.
Right.
Yeah. And Alice is saying, I remember being in a group that carried a coffin to the Pentagon. And Mary, you were at so many of those things because you took pictures and you created posters and cards of signs, protest signs. It's been great. Yeah.
That particular one at Arlington was really interesting because Cindy Sheehan was there, and it was the first time. It was really the point she has stated on many occasions when she really became politicized, and decided to launch into her demonstrations around Casey's death and what was the noble cause that he was killed for, and it was really moving. And her sister at the time was also there, who has since passed. But
Yeah.
that I remember. In fact, I remember Gordon Clark called us to do that demonstration, and I said, who else is playing? And he said, just you two. So we did all the music for the event, and it was. I mean, I get chills still
Yeah.
thinking about.
Didn't you do an Arlo Guthrie song as well?
Gosh, you have a good memory. Let me bring Ellen up while
You have
we're
a
all
better
talking
memory than
about
we
this.
have.
Because Ellen was
Hi,
just
Ellen.
saying that you met Colonel Ann Wright at the coffin display.
Yes.
Yeah. I knew about her, but I never actually met her before until we were both there among those coffins.
Yeah.
Yeah, that they read all the names. They were
Mhm.
reading, people came up individually in that group participatory and read the names that day. The 1,000 Coffins, is that the one you're talking about?
Yes,
Yeah,
that's the
Yeah.
one.
yeah. No,
Yeah.
it was a moment to live in DC.
Sure was.
Yeah, that's how we met all of you out in the streets, one demonstration or another, and then over and over and over again. And we thank both of you for everything that you do. Ellen, while you're here, what's going on with Vets for Peace? What could people know about for now to stay?
Well,
in touch
thanks
with you?
very much for giving me the opportunity, because I am thrilled to announce that the Golden Rule Peace Sailboat is about to launch like within days. It's Great Loop. The Golden Rule sailboat is a 31-foot sailboat, which initially was taken by 4 Quakers to try to sail into the South Pacific nuclear weapons testing site, the Marshall Islands. And they were not allowed to leave Hawaii, but they got lots of publicity, and some other groups did it later. And probably out of that comes Greenpeace and other activist boats.
Well,
And because of COVID, the Golden Rule has done Pacific things, but not come east yet. But finally it's happening. They're trucking it across to the upper Mississippi. It will come down the Mississippi, across the Gulf, around Florida, up the East Coast, and through one of several possible canals into the Great Lakes over a 15-month period.
wow.
And they will be in Baltimore and DC in late April next year. But if you're anywhere along that route, for heaven's sake, get in touch, because it's an amazing visual. This beautiful sailboat with Veterans for Peace, red sails, and all kinds of cultural and activist events can happen while they're in town. So get in touch. Just go to the Golden Rule. Probably that by itself would get it. But it's a separate website. It's not the Veterans for Peace website, but if you go to the Veterans for Peace website, you can link to it.
Oh, great.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, that's great to know. Thank you so much, Ellen.
Maybe we can
Appreciate
get
that.
those links. Thank you both. Thanks you both for dropping in to add some
Yeah,
comments. We'll
yeah.
certainly have you back up if there's more to.
Great to see you both.
Great to see you both.
Yeah.
If there's more to ask or to say. Yeah. So thank you. Lisa just put the link there for Vets for Peace Golden Rule Project. And thanks for coming, Shayna.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing
Nice
this
to know
powerful
you're here.
song and stories, so Shayna. And I need to go early today. Happy birthday, Sandy. That's very sweet. Thank you. All right, so I think we got the chorus. I mean, let's talk about chorus for a minute while we're here. Pat's playing open position.
Yeah, and you're exactly right, Mary. I'm there's a couple of really sort of powerful minors in there that kind of set the tone for this chorus. And the very first one is the E minor. So it's I will not fight, E minor. I will not take orders. Is that B minor or B minor 7th? I never
Just
know.
B minor.
Okay. Orders. My life is short. The G. Getting shorter. The A. This is not my land. E minor. And then instead of going to the B minor again, I go straight to the G. I do not belong here. This is not my war. D. This is not my war. And it leaves on that, ends on that C, that kind of suspended chord to just, add to the suspense, really, of the story, So that's, I will not fight.
So what kind of strumming are you doing for people who want to see?
Good question. In that very first, let's see. Let me think.
You don't play on the first one. That's why you don't know what you do.
Right. In that, normally what I do in this song is I just strum the bass and then the rest of the string. So I will not fight. I will not take orders. My life is short, getting shorter. This is not my land. I don't belong here. This is not my war. This is not my war.
Okay.
Just to emphasize the drama of it.
Yeah. So, just so we're not leaving the singers behind, let's go on to teaching your part of the verse, and then I'll talk about my part on the choruses and strumming the next time we
can
step onto guitar land.
This chair is so squeaky. You tried to make the squeak go away.
Pat, are you playing a G bass with the C chord? Yes, that's how. Yeah, she likes to play that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can't see.
Sorry.
A G
Yes.
bass with your C chord. C chord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always do, actually. So when I
Yep.
play a C chord, what all that means is that I'm adding my third finger. I actually fret the sixth string as well as the fifth string. You know, the straight ahead C chord is like that, but I always put my third finger down on the sixth string too.
Yep.
All right, so then
All right, let's go on
onto
to
the verse.
the verse, your sung part in the verse, and there's no harmony in the verse, so we're just going to be learning Pat's vocal part.
And I'll just keep this up so you can see my hands. Let's see if I can prop it there. I think so. Okay. When I was young, I would play the hero, by chance for real, next to zero. Oh, sorry. I grew up poor, and I grew up empty. Recruiters came, tried to tempt me. And it goes on right into this sort of, there's two kind of stanzas in this verse. They promised cars, and they promised money. They showed my future, bright and sunny. Though it sounded good, I did not believe them. I had a friend, they deceived him. It's a really repetitious
When I was young, right?
verse,
Da-da-da-da-da-da. A lot of that note. A lot of that same note.
And that's really all there is to that melody. I'll do it again. When I was young, I would play the hero, by chance for real, next to zero. I grew up poor, and I grew up empty. Recruiters came, tried to tempt me. They promised cars, and they promised money. They showed my future, bright and sunny. Though it sounded good, I did not believe them. I had a friend, they deceived him. And then the next
Can we see
line is,
that?
I will not fight. So it's
Interesting.
the same.
Yeah, right. How's that verse feeling? Pat's part on the verse. Okay, or you need it again? Okay, cool. Yeah, there's something about the repetition and the other ways that we build some energy in the song. So, for instance, for my guitar part, for that verse, right? When I was young, C chord here. I grew up poor and I grew up empty. Recruiters came and tried to tempt me. So because then there's a repeat, then I start strumming. So I will do that a little bit slower so you can see it's like dampening as I usually do. And again, this is on the second part of those verses because it's a double verse and just to increase the intensity. And so one of those slowly is like that. So I'm lifting this finger on and off to make it dampen a little more, and I'm dampening with the right hand. Just for a little bit of guitaredness, because vocally what we have is Pat's lead part, and then on the choruses is when we have harmony. Plus we do the chorus a cappella later on in the song. So the way we kind of can keep the focus on that one voice is for me not to be there while that single person is telling their story in this song. And we learn a lot about this person and the names of other persons in their lives, but we never learn the name of this person, actually, which is really interesting, right?
Right.
You know, Juan and the son and and Juan's wife and Juan's son and everything, but we don't know anything about this person
about the
aside
narrator.
that they were
Yeah.
Juan's friend.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I'm wondering, like, I think the only other thing to talk about actually are guitar things before we kind of put it together a little bit, because
Well, this song it's a bunch of layers of very simple parts, but it's sort of like I think about it like the banjo. You know, there are things about the banjo that are really simple, but when you put them all together,
That's
you know,
right.
they sound polyphonic. They sound much more complicated, and this song, each part is really kind of essential to creating the drama and the emotion of the story, and it's. I wondered even at first when I was writing it, I was like, oh, these verses too simple. They seemed kind of monochromatic. But then, once we added both guitar parts and everything, it actually having that kind of stark, simple verse just added to the immediacy and the starkness of the story, and then we get to break out into the sort of explode into the chorus, and especially with those kind of intricate, subtle but intricate harmonies, I think they work to drive the tragedy of the story, and also it's the sort of the element of surprise, that it's really Juan's words at the end,
right,
that we've been singing all along.
Right. Actually, I think one thing I want to say, maybe we should take it from the Juan Came Home part to the Dock at Dover, because actually that's where I play guitar. I play
Yeah,
chords
and
you don't.
I was trying to remember if I dropped out entirely, and I didn't really drop out when we played it through. But you're right; it should just be your part, and it really then it really magnifies that really tender bell-like part that you're playing. and for me, just like really, just drives home the, what a horrific story war is, especially for some of the most vulnerable people in our community.
So let's just do it from that part. And I am playing some chord shapes that I didn't put chord diagrams for. I can put them up after. But let's just do it let's do it from the chorus into that, so you can feel how there's the strong chorus and then it drops into this thing. So let's do it it's the chorus after verse 2.
Just put this over here. Try to stop squeaking.
That's you. I will fight. Something like that.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
1, 2. I will not fight. I will not take orders. My life is short, getting shorter. This is not my land. I don't belong here. This is not my war. This is not my war. One came home to the dock at Dover. We laid him down in Kentucky clover, with his son and his wife beside me. I read his words, may they always guide me. I will not fight, I will not take orders. My life is short, getting shorter. This is not my land, I don't belong here. This is not my war. This is not my war. I will not fight. I will not take orders. My life is short, getting shorter. This is not my land. I don't belong here. This is not my war. This is not my war. This is not my war. This is not my war.
So we kind of I wanted to play through that section so you could hear how the variation between the bigness of the chorus with the chords versus the starkness of Pat's voice with just these chords that ring. And then also just a cappella, 2 voices, and then coming back in with the chords. So it's all about making this story as powerful as it is. The story is super powerful. And I think that, let's see, David said, I like that simple but delicate strum that Sandy does in the solo. Right. So thank you. That's sort of what I remember us working that out, that it really just needed to be that sort of pull up.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, David. And Ellen said, I love the story of singing in Canada with Holly Near and meeting Yonatan Shapira from Israel, who's a founder of Combatants for Peace, that I know, along with a lot of other Combatants for Peacers, amazing people. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah. So for folks who didn't read the story, it's in our e-newsletter that we sent out. But so we went with Holly up to Nelson, British Columbia, and it was a gathering of a lot of Vietnam era musicians, and then and others that were instrumental in speaking out against that war and helping to end that war. I think that it's no secret that the activism that was happening during that time actually did factor in to the end of that war. It wasn't one element or another, but I think public opposition to the war was huge, and then lots of folks who were currently involved in Iraq Vets Against the War and other groups that were there, and musicians like us, of course, younger musicians that were not part of that era. And so, like Country Joe was there, for instance, which was fascinating. And other folks that spoke out from the stage, and also oh gosh, his name just slipped out of my head. Pentagon Papers.
Daniel Ellsberg.
Daniel Ellsberg was there, and so lots of activists, lots of musicians. Rosalie Sorrells was there, which was the last time I saw her, actually, before she died. Lots and lots of people, and of course, Holly was very active during that time. So it was really powerful to be able to be on the stage with her in that setting, and up walks Yonatan Shapira, and we knew of him, and it was really pretty amazing to meet him and talk to him, and we were just sort of chatting with Holly, and he happened to mention that he plays harmonica, and not only just a regular sort of harmonica, but a chromatic harmonica, which is much harder to play, much more involved. You have many more notes, and it takes a lot of skill to play that. So we were like, wow, this guy could really play. And Holly asked him if he would play on the song that we were going to sing together, and so we ran through it, and of course it was really, really beautiful, and we all got up on stage for our performance and started playing, and Yonatan started playing his harmonica part, and I looked over, and there were tears streaming down his cheeks as he was playing, and man, I mean, I still I can't think of that image without tearing up. It was so powerful. For those of you who don't know, Yonatan, he's a former fighter pilot, Israeli fighter pilot, who co-founded an organization called Combatants for Peace, and he told stories about the beginning of this organization, how he would walk into a room, and this is a group not only of former Israeli fighter pilots, but of Palestinian fighter pilots. It was purposely to reach across.
Any kind of combatants, so
And
fighter pilots, shooters, whoever they were, tank people who drive the tanks.
Yeah. But they would walk into a room not knowing whether they were going to be ambushed. When they met with these people that he knew were highly trained, just like he was, to, kill one another, and they would step into that void, and with the hope and the faith that they weren't being set up, and build relationships across their differences, and it's just a beautiful, powerful, incredibly courageous thing to do. So it was, it took unimaginable courage, as Mary said. Yeah, we agree.
Yeah.
So it was really moving to not only get to meet him, but to be able to play music with him and see just that, what an incredibly tender heart he has still, having seen the things that he's seen in his lifetime.
And that organization is still active. There, you can support them. We watched. I watched a number of their videos that they were having of talking about whenever was the latest attack on Gaza, and or the one before that, and they're just still doing really courageous work. So these are people coming from seemingly opposing sides, and they don't always agree on everything, but they never resort to violence. And their point is, we can talk to each other. We can work this out together, and this is not the way that we're approaching peace building or security is not giving us either peace or security. So I encourage you to check them out and participate in whatever they've got going on online and support their work.
And if they can do it, anybody can do it. I mean, just to imagine the amount of risk that they're taking, and the kind of courage. That's real courage.
And Lynn was writing, Combatants for Peace often co-sponsors programs with the Parents Circles Families Forum. And there are American Friends of organizations, so groups that support both of those groups here in the U.S. for both organizations. Thank you. So let's sing this song through. And Lynn, I know you wanted to see the upstrokes. No, I didn't catch. What did you say?
Right there, Shireen's.
My friend Penny, Shireen says, my friend Penny interviewed some members of Combatants for Peace and a similar group called Breaking the Silence. And she put some of their words into a song. I'll have to look for the link. We would love to hear that.
Yeah, we'd love to hear that. That'd be great.
And before that, Lynn had asked to see the strum. Yes, I am hitting the bass note. So it's an F chord, and then a C chord, a G chord with an A on the top, and a D chord. So I hit the bass and then I pull everything else back up.
And Sandy's also getting that beautiful bell-like sound. I mean, part of it is just that she has this extraordinary Breedlove guitar, but she also is playing just with her fingers, no picks or anything. Right. So she gets that really just tender kind of attack, what they call attack.
Isn't that interesting?
Of course.
Yeah. I wasn't using a pick. Right. Good point. Thanks, Pat. I use a pick for the rest of the song, so that when that part of the song happens, I have to hold the pick between my fingers and use my fingertips. So I'm still holding onto the pick.
So she's holding it just like,
holding it
up like this in her fingers. If you can see that, my pick is white, so that's not so easy to maybe on the background.
Because I need it. I needed it before from the end of this chorus, right? Whatever the end of the chorus was, yes.
And then she can slide it down and use it when she needs it for strumming parts.
So that takes actually a little bit more practice.
And I didn't realize you were doing that either. Yeah.
Yeah, because I play the chorus.
Nicely done.
This is all with the pick. Second to flip it, right? Yep. So that takes a little practice, but you can do it. All right, let's sing this.
Yeah, so we sing it all the way through?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Am I falling off of me Hawaiian shirt?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. I will not fight. I will not take orders. My life is short, getting shorter. This is not my land. I don't belong here. This is not my war. This is not my war. When I was young, I would play the hero. My chance for real, next to zero. I grew up poor, and I grew up empty. Recruiters came, tried to tempt me. They promised cars, and they promised money. They showed my future, bright and sunny. Though it sounded good, I did not believe them. I had a friend, they deceived him. I will not fight, I will not take orders. My life is short, getting shorter. This is not my land, I don't belong here. This is not my war, this is not my war. My buddy won, joined the army, was convinced he would help his family. He tried his best to buy the story, but bloody lies betrayed the glory. One wrote warrior, just silent tanks, guns and mortar. I will not fight, I will not take orders. My life is short and getting shorter. This is not my land, I don't belong here. This is not my war, this is not my war. One came home to the dock at Dover. We laid him down in Kentucky clover, with his son and his wife beside me. I read his words, may they always guide me. I will not fight, I will not take orders. My life is short and getting shorter. This is not my land, I don't belong here. This is not my war, this is not my war. I will not fight, I will not take orders. My life is short and getting shorter. This is not my land, I don't belong here. This is not my war, this is not my war. This is not my war, this is not my war.
Thanks, you all. Thanks for singing and playing that with us.
Thanks.
Yeah. All right. Well, we do want to give big love and our continued support and gratitude for vets who speak out, for people who are whistleblowers, for folks who are inside these institutions who say, I'm going to stop this from the inside, and for everyone who's working to stop it from the outside as well. War takes up all of our money, all of our time, all of our TV, visuals that come at us. There's so much support for war, and we need to create more support for peace and create a world where we can use all that money, feed people, house people,
all
change
the
the climate, all of the things we need.
Yeah, all the services that we lack would be covered by diverting a tiny sliver of the military budget.
So let's start with a tiny sliver, and then let's take all of it and do something really good. Let's have some boats that get to sail, as the golden rule is, after we've gotten rid of nuclear weapons. Let's support them while they're sailing now to say we must disarm. And you can find that link again in our chat here in Zoom and on Facebook for the Vets for Peace Golden Rule Project. If you're going to be on the East Coast, anywhere from Mississippi all the way through the Great Lakes, so the middle of the country through the East Coast, you can go to events supporting that Golden Rule project.
I just want to say, Lisa R. says, I wish they were worried about the military spending impact on inflation.
Yeah.
6which is huge, of course, but nobody wants to talk about that.
Yeah.
Because fighting has worked so well for so long.
Thank you for posting that link again.
And also, folks, you can support us continuing to do this work. We are starting to tour again, but this is still a hugely uncertain time. Lots of folks are still concerned about coming out, especially to indoor live events, because they're concerned about getting sick, and we totally understand that. And every single one of our gigs is, we ask that people stay masked and distanced, and so that means the capacity of the rooms is less, because we want to protect everybody. We don't want to be putting anybody in harm's way. So if you are able, feel free to support us. There are links both on the Facebook, I think, and also here
Mm-hmm.
on Zoom. Ways that you can go to our website and click donate.
Yep.
There are
You
lots of
can
possibilities.
get our CDs.
Yes.
Also, whoops, I think I'm holding them. They look up. They look upside down to me in the mirror here. But new CD Rooted and the compilation CD of our 20 years, holy moly, called Evolution. So you get to hear us from way back in the early days till now. We do have a bunch of upcoming events, and thank you to Marcy for posting that for us. We will be here next week teaching a song, and then the last Sunday of August we will be here, and we're going to be teaching a song for the special reason that we haven't quite announced, although some of you may have heard about it. But we will tell you more about that as we get nearer to August 28th. So we do come back for 2 song teaching sessions coming up, 21st and 28th. After that, we're going to be back out on the road, shortly after that, I should say. But we have some shows starting in Florida, St. Petersburg, Florida, Friday, September 9th. Orlando, Florida, Saturday, September 10th. Gainesville, Florida, Sunday, September 11th. And then Friday, September 16th in Miami. And then we go to North Carolina for those next weekends, Sunday, September 18th in Charlotte, and Friday the 23rd of September in Chapel Hill, Saturday, September 24th in Greensboro, Sunday, September 25th in Asheville. If you are near any of those towns and you would like a concert in your town or an event or a workshop, please get in touch with us.
Yeah, and we're in Charlotte for a service. I don't know if you got that one
I think I did say that. But
and we also have a couple of dates on that tour that are available. So down in that North Carolina area. So if folks want to fill those in for us, that would be lovely. It's much more expensive to tour these days than it used to be. Air travel and car rentals are still through the roof for us. So anytime that we can maximize our time out makes this all a little bit easier. So would love to come see you wherever you are.
yeah, and Lori says, I want a concert in my city, which, as I'm not mistaken, that's Berkeley.
Right.
So we will do something closer to home here.
Most definitely.
And we will certainly let you know when that is. So thank you so much. We want to thank our tech team, the whole crew, for creating this beach day for me for my birthday. And we want to we love our tech team, Moria, Paula, Toby, Rada, Marcy, and Alice. And thank you for the beautiful hats and the backdrops. And I think I am gonna take a walk on the beach on my birthday. We have a nice beach in Edinburgh, just saying. So Shireen. Yeah, Edinburgh's amazing. We want to come back.
Yeah, we love Edinburgh. We'd love to come back there.
So we will say goodbye to folks on Facebook Live. We're going to be here on Zoom. And for folks who are watching after the fact on YouTube, come join us sometime live here in the Zoom room or on Facebook. Have a great week, and we will see you all next week.
Great to be with you all. Take care, Facebook.